When did your neighbors realize you weren't just the teenage mom? When I moved back in with my parents after getting pregnant at 16, the whole neighborhood watched my belly grow as I struggled to even get on the bus. That's when they designated me as that girl who ruined her life at 16, and they never bothered to change. Every morning when I leave for work in my blazer and slacks, Mrs. Holmes from across the street makes this pitying face and asks if I'm going to another job interview, always adding, "Good for you, sweetie, keep trying," as if I've been unemployed for 8 years. The cul-de-sac moms have this WhatsApp group where they coordinate play dates, and I know I'm not in it because one of them once showed me a message by accident where someone called me the cautionary tale. The worst part is how they talk to Chloe, my daughter, asking her if she needs snacks or new clothes right in front of me, as if I can't provide for my own daughter. Last Saturday was the neighborhood's annual 4th of July barbecue, and it was absolutely brutal. The moment Chloe and I arrived at the park pavilion, I could feel the shift in energy, that familiar mix of pity and judgment that follows me like a shadow. Barbara immediately rushed over, speaking slowly and loudly like I might not understand basic English, explaining where the food was. She emphasized that the food was free 3 times while patting my shoulder. I gently stepped back from her touch and set my spinach artichoke dip on the table with the other dishes, adding a serving spoon and my little handwritten label like everyone else had done. Barbara laughed. "Oh honey, you didn't need to spend your money on that." I opened my mouth to explain I'd made it myself, but she'd already turned away. During the job conversation circle, I actually stepped forward when Dr. Fairfax asked what everyone did for work. I even raised my hand slightly, hoping to connect with them, but he looked right through me to the next person. I cleared my throat and started to say, "I actually work for the government," but I was interrupted mid-sentence. "Don't worry, sweetheart, you'll get there one day." "Sure, whatever you say." Then Mrs. Kingsbury crept over to Chloe. I immediately moved toward them as she pressed a $50 bill into Chloe's small hand, whispering, "For school supplies or whatever you need, sweetheart. I know things are tight because of your mom." I reached for Chloe's hand, saying firmly, "Chloe doesn't take money from," but Mrs. Kingsbury insisted, adding, "We all know your mom is doing her best with her limitations." I was starting to get tired of all the interruptions when this guy named Leonard dragged his teenage son over, pointed directly at my face while I was mid-bite of potato salad, and launched into a whole speech about the importance of protection and making smart choices. I set down my plate, wiped my mouth, and was about to give him a piece of my mind when my phone suddenly started buzzing. I opened the lock screen to see I'd just gotten a cryptic message, and my heart went cold. I knew exactly what was about to happen, and it wouldn't be pretty. I watched in horror as 3 black SUVs pulled into the park's parking lot, and everything changed. I immediately stood up, pulling Chloe behind me with one hand while my other hand went to my waistband, a movement that made sense 30 seconds later when 8 federal agents in full tactical gear stepped out. Everyone stumbled backward as the lead agent, a woman built like she could bench press Leonard, met me halfway. "Director Stone," she said, nodding curtly, "there have been 3 attempted breaches on your home system. We need to move now." I turned, snapping my fingers at another agent who immediately tossed me a vest. "Chloe, come here, baby," I commanded, already strapping on my bulletproof vest with NSA emblazoned across it. The entire barbecue stood frozen. Potato salad literally fell off Leonard's fork. Mrs. Holmes's mouth opened and closed like a fish. "I'm sorry, what?" Barbara finally squeaked out. Another mom stepped forward, stammering, "What is happening here? There must be some mistake. She is just a disappointment. A teen mom, for God's sake. Why are you acting like she's someone important?" The agent took one look at her and said, "Ma'am, step back. Director Stone leads the cyber-terrorism division. She cracked an organization's encrypted servers last week, and now they're targeting her." Dr. Fairfax's beer slipped from his hand, but she was 16 and pregnant, and actually, I said over my shoulder, scooping Chloe into my arms and already moving toward the SUV. I had started MIT courses online from my bedroom while nursing. I graduated at 20. The NSA recruited me at 21 specifically because I could juggle a screaming baby, 3 term papers, and a coding project simultaneously. Mrs. Kingsbury's $50 bill fluttered from Chloe's hand as my daughter announced to the stunned crowd, "My mom catches the bad guys who try to hurt America with computers. She's basically a superhero." Since that day, the same people who whispered about me being a statistic have now started to brag about knowing me personally.